Here we go. All right, 1.3, this is the first part of the notes. So how can we solve equations that have variables on both sides of the equation? So now you're going to learn this little acronym SIPSE. So SIPSE means S is simplify. So this could mean a number of things. It could mean combine like terms. It could mean you've got to do distribution. You may want to eliminate fractions. And in certain circumstances, this is not all the time, you'll use inverse operations. Like I said, this is a sometimes thing. Okay, usually what that means is we're going to get into go big or go home. And we'll get into that a little bit later. Okay, so I is identify. This is where you do your do and undo. So at this point, you have a variable plus a number equals a number. P is perform. And that means you do the undo side. And then C is check. And on the check step, it is always show your work and use the original equation. All right, so let's go look at some examples of this. So we've got number 1, x plus 16 equals 9x. Now, the difference here is you're used to just having a variable on one side. And instead, now you've got variables on two sides. So the first thing you're going to do for your S, for your simplify step, is you're going to do go big or go home. Okay, so what that means is you're going to look at this guy and look at this guy because they're on different sides of the equation sign. Okay, when we're in class, I make you hold up your index fingers and point to them. So now it's go big or go home. So which one is bigger, x or 9x? Okay, we know that the 9x is bigger. So we're going to go to the big side. Now, the way that you do go big or go home is you have to use inverse operations. So we have x plus 16 equals 9x. So our simplify step is we have to subtract x from both sides. So then we have 16 equals 8x. The next step is your identify, which means your do and undo. Okay, what's going on between the 8 and the x? We have multiply by 8, so we need to divide by 8. P is your perform step, so you're going to actually divide both sides by 8. Okay, any number divided by itself is 1, so we have x on that side, and 16 divided by 8 is 2. So I'm going to flip it, x equals 2. And then the very last step is C, which is your check step. So you go back into the original equation, which was x plus 16 question mark equals 9 times x. So we put whatever we input in parentheses. So 2 plus 16 is 18, and 9 times 2 is 18. So check and box. Okay, number 2. Again, we're looking at, we have a variable on both sides. So for our simplify step again, we're going to have to do go big or go home. So we're doing inverse operations because we have to get the variable to one side so we can solve it. So which one's bigger, 5y or 2y? 5y is bigger, so I need to move my 2y over to that side. So I've got 5y minus 14 equals 2y minus 2. So then, inverse operations, I'm going to do minus 2y to both sides. There's my opposites. And then 5y minus 2y is 3y. Now I'm down, one more thing. On the right-hand side, what remains? Okay, make sure that the sign stays with the term. So whatever's out in front stays with it. And then this is the ideal of what we're looking for. We have a variable term, we have a constant term, and it equals a number. So then my identify stage is my do and undo chart. Okay, so we've got what's going on between the y and the 3. Smush. So we've got multiply by 3, so we undo with divide by 3. And then what's going on between the y and the 14? So this is, we are subtracting 14, so the undo is add 14. And then we've got sad meep. So add first, divide second. Okay, third step, P is perform. And I know I'm going to do the add part first. So add 14 to both sides. And that leaves me 3y equals 14 minus 2. So that's 12. Check that off. Next step, divide both sides by 3. Okay, any number divided by itself is 1. And then 12 divided by 3 is 4. Am I done? Nope, one more step to go. I've got to do my check step. So I go back to the original equation, and I'm going to plug in what I think y is. And remember, original equation, all the way back to before we switch sides on anything. So I've got, you can do 2 steps, 20. 20 minus 14 is 6. 2 times 4 is 8. 8 minus 2 is 6. Check. And box. Okay. Last one. Don't freak out. It's a fraction. You won't die. Okay. Same. Everything's the same. You start in the same place. You do the same steps. Okay. Simplify. So I have a variable on both sides. Since I have a variable on both sides, I have to use go big or go home. So that means I'm looking at this term and I'm looking at this term because I have a variable on each side of the equal sign. This one is negative. This one doesn't have a sign out in front, and we know that means it's positive. So which one's bigger? Well, one's a positive, one's a negative, so we know we're going to be moving this guy over here. So inverse operations, we start out with 4/7 m equals 18 minus 2/7 m. Okay, my 2/7 is what needs to move. To undo minus 2/7, we're going to add 2/7. Okay, when we're adding fractions, 4/7 plus 2/7, so I end up with 6/7. So I have 6/7 m equals 18. My identify, the only thing I've got for my do and undo is that I am multiplying by 6/7, and you should have just had a little alarm bells go off in your brain saying multiply by 6/7 means I've got to multiply by the reciprocal of 7/6. Okay, this side I've got 7/6. This side I've got 7/6. Every whole number is over 1. So now I have 6 times 7 is 42. Oh, darn it. 7 times 6 is 42. 6 times 7 is 42. Okay, 18 times 7 is 56, 126. And 6 times 1 is 6. Now, do I expect you to do this in your head? No, I don't. Grab a calculator, learn the tricks, one of the two. 6 goes into 12 twice. 6 goes into 6 once. So we have 21. Oops, that was my perform step. Sorry. And then the check step. So go back to the original equation. So I have 4/7. Oh man, and a fraction. But you won't die, I promise. Over 1 equals, question mark, 18 minus 2/7. Did anyone notice that the top and the bottom are both divisible by 7? Okay, so then I've got 4 times 21 is 84 over 7. And then over here I have 2 times 21, which is 42 over 7. 7 goes into 8 one time, 1 left over. 7 goes into 14 twice. Then I have 42 divided by 7, which is 6. So I end up with 12 equals 12. Check and box. Okay, so remember, SIPSY, simplify, identify, perform, check. You've been doing it all along, you just haven't put words to it. So, there you go. There's your 3. Thanks, guys.